Hello, Oracle people. This is Justin, and in this Oracle YouTube video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to clone an Oracle database. Now, there are many ways to clone an Oracle database. The way I'm going to show you in this video is how to do it not using RMAN, but using what we call user-managed backup and recovery. And cloning a database basically means that we're going to create another database that has the same exact data as this database, a clone. So, let's get started. First, we're going to set our Oracle SID to finance. And we're going to ensure our Oracle SID is set correctly. And we're going to connect to our finance database. And ensure that we're connected to the right database. You also want to ensure that you are in archive log mode, which you are. Okay, so we determined that we're connected to the finance database, the database which we want to clone, and we determined that we're in archive log mode. So we're going to take a look at a table that we know that we have, called the employees table. And this is a table I created in the past. It doesn't come with the Oracle database, it's something that I created. And when you're cloning a database, basically you're cloning it for an interest in the user data, not the data that comes with Oracle, the data that your user community, that your company owns. And one of the scenarios why you would want to clone would be that, let's say you have a production database which runs all your finance numbers, okay, all of your accounts payable, all your accounts receivable, all of your ledger, your entire finance is done through this finance database. And let's say that and let's say that your business team wants to run some reports, some very CPU intensive reports against the data, the finance data, but they don't want it. But you don't want them to run it against the finance database, your production database, because that could really affect performance negatively. So what you told them is every week you're going to clone the database for them, and then they can run the reports against updated data. So every Saturday we're going to run this report. We're going to run the clone to a database called Finance 2, and they can run all the reports they want against Finance 2, and they can mess up the data if they want. They can do whatever they want, because if they screw up the data in Finance 2, they're not messing with our main production business data in finance. Okay, all we do is reclone it to fix the data. If they mess it up, we overwrite it. And the reason why you'd want to reclone every weekend, and obviously once this process has been tested manually and the business says that the data looks good, you would automate it with some programming techniques. But one of the reasons why you would want to do it every week or 2 days a week or two times a week or whenever you decide to do it is that your business wants updated data every week. So every Monday they want to be working on the data as of close of business Friday. So they want updated data. So if we got a brand new customer that your company just signed on Thursday, and Thursday everything was put into the database and everything, they know that Monday morning when they come in, they're going to be able to test and run reports in that testing environment against the new employees' data, whatever was entered in on Thursday. I mean, the new client's data, whatever was entered in on Thursday, because the clone gets refreshed every week. Oh, we just signed company ABC. We would love to run some reports to massage their data or get whatever we're looking to get out of their data. Well, wait until Monday, because we'll have that company's data then, because this weekend's clone will bring it over to our reporting environment. So that's one scenario why you would want to clone your Oracle database. I'm sure there's a lot of reasons why, but that's just one of them. So if we select asterisk from our employees table, we will see that we have all the data that we put into this table. This table has one column called F name for first name, and we have the first name of a lot of people here. Well, first name, last initial. Okay, but this is data that we inserted. And let's insert some more data just to show that it's an active database. So Bob and Bill are now in this table, 6 rows. All right. So the first thing we have to do is we're going to create the directory structure for our new database. So we're going to go to database, or a data, a subdirectory for our databases. We're going to create finance2, cd to finance2, see that there's nothing in it, create our archived logs directory. And see that, of course, there's nothing in it. All right. So now that that's created, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create our P file for this database. So we go to our Oracle home, which is the location we installed our Oracle database software. And the only real remember, you name the P file in it, the name of the database, finance2.org. You have to name it that. And remember, the only parameter you need, and the minimum parameter that you need in the init file is the DB name parameter, which is finance2. There it is. DB underscore name finance2. Next step is we got to create in the Windows environment our finance2 service, Windows service, and we do that with the following command: or dim new sid finance2, and this will automatically start it in the background. This is just a Windows thing. You don't have to do this in the Unix or Linux environment. And we can verify that it's already started. This is the name that it creates automatically. Oracle service with the ONS capitalized and then the name of the database. It says requested service has already been started. So we know that it's already out there. Okay, so the shell of our database has been created and is ready to go. So now what we need to do is we need to back up our primary database. And we're going to do that hot while the database is up and running. And we can do that because the database is in archive log mode. So select name from the database. Select log finance. Select log mode from the database. Okay, and just to refresh you, here's our data that we're going to be looking for in a new database. Oops. Okay. So first thing we're going to do here is we're going to put our table spaces in the backup mode. And of course, before we do that, all the table spaces in this database are not active. They're not in backup mode yet. So, to put the table spaces in the backup mode, you can either do an alter table space, the name of the table space, begin backup for every table space, or you could just do this command that was made available since the Oracle version 10G, which puts all the table spaces in the backup mode. And that command is alter database begin backup. So alter database begin backup. So you're putting it in backup mode at the database level rather than the table space level. So now when you do a select from $backup, you'll see it doesn't say inactive anymore. You'll see that it says active. So our table spaces are in backup mode. So next thing we do now is we are going to go to a directory which contains the files which make up our Finance Oracle database, and we're going to perform a backup of our DBF files, to be precise. And I'll pause to save YouTube video time. I'll pause this video while the backup occurs. Okay, a backup of our DBFs is now completed, and if we take a look at a directory listing of our backup directory, we will see that they are there. So now, the next step is to take our database out of backup mode, alter database end backup, which takes all of our table spaces out of backup mode, and we see that they're now not active. And we do a switch of our archive logs. We see that we're now at number 2, so we switched OK. Now we make a backup of our control file, but we make it as trace. Let's alter database backup control file to trace as this. Oops. Okay. Now we edit that file that we created with that command. We get rid of all of our remarks here that are going to be ignored by Oracle anyway. And we do a global change here of everything that says finance. We change it to finance 2. So our target finance, our source and our target finance 2. That's where we want to go. Okay. And what we do is we change this from reuse to set, because we're going to be renaming our database. We're not renaming a database, we're creating another database called Finance 2 with the same files. So we're going to say create control file, set database Finance 2. Okay. And we set this to reset logs. Make sure everything else looks good. Database, here's all our redo logs are going to be in Finance 2, and all of our system table spaces and all of our data files are going to be in System Finance 2. And we get rid of our line here, come down here, semicolon up there, and we go ahead and we highlight everything down here, and we delete. So, startup no mount, create control file, set database Finance 2, reset logs. Go ahead and read and make the location of this new database's data files known. Done. Okay. The next step is we are going to log into our new database by first setting its SID. Finance 2. We're going to log into Finance 2 now, just the instance. And we're going to go ahead and we are going to execute the script that we just edited, trace SQL. Now this should create the control file for this new database. Let me double check to see what's going on. There's a space here. Be very picky about that. It thinks it's a new command. So log into Oracle again. Remember, we're shut down abort. Remember, we're connected to our Finance 2 instance, and we'll execute that script again. Oi. My fault. What we need to do first is we need to copy everything in our backup directory, which is a backup of our finance database, to this new location. So what we're doing here is now we're copying the data files, which is a hot backup of our finance database, the database we want to clone. We're copying it to the location where our Finance 2 database, our clone database, will reside. And I'll pause the video while this copies. Okay, copy is done, and if we do dir, we will see that we have restored our backup. So now we connect to the Finance 2 instance again, shut down abort, and we go ahead and we run that trace command again. Control file created. Success this time. Okay, so now what we have to do is so we have two instances running on this box right now, Finance and Finance 2. Now we connect to our Finance 2 instance. To our Finance instance. And we'll just do a couple switches. 3 to be exact. And we'll take a look at our archive log destination. And we will see that we have 4 archive logs. So we set our Oracle SID to Finance 2, and we connect to our Finance 2 instance. Now what we have to do is we have to recover the Finance 2 instance, because since we did a backup, the backup we just restored of the Finance database, there were some changes made to the Finance database. Okay, we did some archive log switching, so we need to apply those archive logs to the Finance 2 database. All right, but we have to point it to what archive logs we want to use. Okay, and how we do that is we do set log source database Aura data finance archive logs, like so. So set log source /database Aura data finance archive logs. And what that's saying is the archive logs are in this directory. Use them to recover this database, Finance 2. Now we do recover database. Using backup control file until cancel. Now remember, 4 is our last archive log. So we're going to do 1, we're going to do 2, we're going to do 3, we're going to do 4, and we're going to hit cancel on 5, like we usually do on the last one. Media recovery canceled. Now we do alter database open, reset logs. Database alter. So we do database open mode from vDatabase, and we see it's read write. We do name from vDatabase, we see we're connected to Finance 2. We select asterisk from employees, we see that all of our data, including the new rows that we did here, our user data, is in a database now called Finance 2. So the data that which used to be in Finance, well, it's still in Finance, is the data that's in the Finance database is now also in the Finance 2 database. Okay? So that right there is what cloning does for you. And to prove it that we're connected to 2 different databases, I want to go ahead and shut down Finance 2. And I'm going to connect to Finance, which should be up and running. We shut down Finance 2. Finance should still be running. Select name from vDatabase. And this time we get Finance, where up here we got Finance 2. And we're going to select asterisk from employees, and we're going to see that we have the same data. 6 rows, and an in bill. 6 rows, and an in bill. Okay? So that's how you clone an Oracle database. Okay, and it's a good exercise to do, and there's other ways to do it. This is just one way, but it's a good exercise to do when you're a business department or application department or whoever, your end users want to run reports or massage data or whatever, but they don't want to screw up production. If you have extra disk space somewhere else in the environment and you have access to it, go ahead and make a clone copy of your production database so they can do what they got to do. And there are other ways, advanced Oracle features, which we'll talk about later, such as Oracle Streams, Oracle Data Guard, and other features like that, which allow you, but take some setting up. Those are advanced videos on YouTube, which allow you to automatically propagate database changes to different databases. So you don't have to do this. As soon as the data goes into the primary database production, it's in the reporting databases right away. But that's a whole other story. All right, that's how you clone an Oracle database.